Hi, VencoreWeather.com, meteorologist Paul Dorian here. On Wednesday, February 28th, we have a powerful ocean storm that will develop over the next couple of days. It will bring rain and wind to the I-95 corridor region from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City, and it looks like it very well could bring accumulating snow to much of the area as well. That snow threat will come later Friday into Friday night. A very complex weather situation here unfolding, and one of the main factors, and we've emphasized this over the past several days, is a tremendous high latitude blocking pattern that will form over the next few days. This is a forecast map from the 6Z GFS model for the 500 millibar height anomalies for Friday morning. This purple is an area of extremely high heights relative to normal, centered over Greenland. This is Greenland right here, northern Canada right here. Right across the Mid-Atlantic region, you'll see an upper level low feature here, and this is associated with that unfolding powerful ocean storm that we expect in the Friday time frame. Basically, it'll begin as rain around here later tomorrow, and the precipitation could go all the way into Friday night because of this particular block. Low pressure will try to move to the north, but it will just be forced to pull back. It'll run into a brick wall in the atmosphere, and instead of a coastal storm moving north and east like they typically do, this will be forced to go back down to the south, maybe even take a loop back around towards the coastal areas during the day on Friday, eventually moving down to the south and east of the I-95 corridor. Again, high latitude blocking playing a major role in this ocean storm. It'll be a slow mover and a long period of rain and wind, and again, it can very well change to accumulating snow in parts of the I-95 corridor, especially higher elevation locations. Well, we're going to show the very latest NAM model. It's a higher resolution model compared to some of the global models like the GFS, and I think the NAM model, when we get closer and closer to the event time, we'll have a better handle on the situation, and I think it has some support with the European model, which we're not showing right now, but we're going to show the very latest. This is hot off the press, the 12Z NAM model. I want to first focus on the upper air pattern, the 500 millibar pattern here, because this is crucial. In fact, I think this we'll show here is the main difference between the NAM model and the GFS model. The track of the upper level low is going to be crucial here, because right to the north of that upper level low will be the potential for some accumulating snow. So you want to look at areas right underneath that upper level low and to areas to the north. And the NAM and the European model tend to have this a little farther south than the GFS right now, and I believe the NAM in this particular situation. Let's move ahead. We'll move ahead in hourly increments here, starting with right now, Wednesday morning. And this is the area of concern right here. This is where the main upper level feature, driving all the way south along the California coastline and then taking a turn to the east. We're pushing forward here rapidly now into Thursday morning right here. This is the 24-hour forecast from 12Z today to 12Z tomorrow, and here's the area of energy headed towards the Mid-Atlantic region as of Thursday morning. Now let's keep pushing forward now in hourly increments. One piece of energy here over the Great Lakes region, and another starting to take shape here over the Ohio Valley later in the afternoon on Thursday. Now by tomorrow night, we have kind of an orientation from the northwest to the southeast here, a negative tilt to this upper level pattern here. But let's move forward here and watch what happens. Here we go. By early Friday, the big upper level trough starting to form right over the Mid-Atlantic region, and the NAM model has right here, you can see kind of the position of this upper level low right here over the Delmarva Peninsula, the very southern part of New Jersey, again a little bit farther to the south than the GFS model. And this will be crucial because associated with this upper level feature will be what we call dynamics in the atmosphere, basically areas of upward motion. This is going to be a very interesting storm, complex storm There's going to be mesoscale bands, small-scale bands, where it very well could be snowing hard in one area later Friday into Friday night, but a few miles away, not too hard. And in those areas of strong upward motion, you'll get dynamical cooling, where the upward rise in the atmosphere actually causes a cooling, and that again will lead to the likelihood of snow in those particular areas. So where this tracks will be crucial. Of course, we're still a few days away, a couple days away here, so we're not. We're starting to get a better feel for this, but we're all the details have yet to be ironed out. But again, a little farther south here on the NAM model and the European model, and that brings the colder air and the potential for snow a little farther to the south, certainly down into the Philadelphia metro region. There's a threat of accumulating snow, and into southern New Jersey, perhaps even as far south as just to the northeast side of the District of Columbia. Let's keep moving forward here. Notice, it is not going to move to the north and east because of that tremendous high latitude blocking here. This is late in the day on Friday, and we'll look at the surface maps in a moment. Basically, it's running into a brick wall, forcing it southward here. The surface low may actually take a loop back towards the coastline because of this high latitude blocking. Eventually, it pulls away slowly to the south and east. Again, this is now the Saturday morning forecast, all as a result of that tremendous high latitude blocking, very high pressure compared to normal over Greenland and northern Canada by the end of the work week. Well, let's now walk through the surface maps again. This is the very latest 12Z NAM model here. We'll walk through in hourly increments. Eventually it becomes 3-hourly increments. All these maps from tropicaltidbits.com. Nice day today here. In fact, 60 degrees is likely in parts of the I-95 corridor this afternoon, Wednesday afternoon. But here we go now. By late tonight, going into the early morning hours of Thursday, clouds will increase rapidly overnight tonight, and we'll see some rain moving in during the afternoon hours. Now, that initial wave heads towards the eastern Great Lakes with a strong storm over the Ohio Valley. Eventually, that takes a backseat to the ocean storm that will develop here, and we'll see this in a moment here. Rain late tomorrow in D.C., headed towards Philadelphia, New York City. And here we go. Some snow, significant snow, by the way, across places like lower half of Michigan, Detroit. Then that'll look like extend right across the southern half of New York State. New York State's really in for very impressive snowfall. It could close down the New York Thruway on Friday with snow coming down so hard. So here we go now. By late Thursday night, strong low pressure starting to intensify over the western Atlantic Ocean just east of New Jersey here. Again, this is a 12Z NAM forecast map for late Thursday night. Still rain right here in the New York City, Philadelphia metro region, but keep in mind that tremendous block to the north, and let's move forward here. Low, in typical fashion, tries to move up to the north and east, but it just runs into a brick wall, comes to a halt, starts to dive to the south, and when it starts to dive to the south, that colder air will actually spread to the south as well. Notice here, by midday Friday, already changing over to snow in the higher elevations of northeast Pennsylvania. The Poconos could very well end up with several inches of snow from this particular system. Let's keep moving forward here. Look at that. The snow then breaks out all the way down across the Philly metro region into southern part of New Jersey. This storm continues to intensify. We haven't even talked about the winds yet. Winds could gust up to 50 miles per hour in the I-95 corridor region during this storm in the Thursday night, Friday night, early Saturday time frame, and even higher gusts than that possible along the coast. Let's keep moving forward. Look at this. The low just kind of loops around here. This is late in the day on Friday. Very likely snow in the higher elevations of eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Very well could be snowing at this time, even at the lower elevations across eastern Pennsylvania and much of New Jersey, and even extending now into the Delmarva Peninsula area just on the eastern side of the District of Columbia as this storm pulls to the south, and with it will come the colder air driving to the south as well. Now, again, winds will be quite impressive here, quite strong. And one thing we'll have to worry about is the potential for some power outages, because the soil is pretty wet because of recent rains. And we'll have additional rain at the onset of this particular system. So certainly there can be some weakened roots with 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It could result in some downed trees and potential for some power outages here. And here we are later Friday night going into early Saturday on the northwest side. There certainly can be cold enough for some snow. Eventually, that finally pulls away to the south and east. It will not go northeast because of that block, but it pulls away to the south and east. So a big storm going to form over the western Atlantic, and it'll become a slow mover because of that high latitude blocking. It's going to bring rain and wind to the I-95 corridor region, and very possible for accumulating snow in much of the I-95 corridor region. The snow threat will be later Friday into Friday night. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.